Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better. Just know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. I'll give myself. Only you can make the change. I'll give myself. Shine your head at you. I'll give myself. Shine so bright. From darkness to light. Hey, 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 hey. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it won't seem way out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The power of God will flow through you from way out.
Welcome. This is DJ Genesis, and this is Alchemizing Energy. And listen, this is going to be an open panel. I'm going to play some stuff for you guys to check out. Palantir has a new manifesto that is scaring the crap out of everybody. And let's hear some of the things that people are saying about it. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Oh, you in the big boy chat today? Okay, all right, cool. Welcome, Wild Millennial. Listen, did you see the show I just did about the death row inmate? Please, you guys, I'm doing shows. I don't have a necessary schedule, but please go back and check that out. There's a young guy that is about to get the death, executed on the 30th, and come to find out he didn't even do it. Cousin came out last month and admitted to the crime, but honey, they're not trying to hear that. He's fixing to be put and executed, and it's going to be really crazy. So, but in the meantime, there is all this talk about the new Palantir manifesto that people are like, what? Okay. So the first thing I want to show is what people are saying about how it is affecting the Black community. They're saying that Palantir is just putting up these billboards and all kind of wild stuff. Today is an open panel, guys, with this subject. So if you guys want to discuss it, please feel free to come up. What do you guys think about? Are you guys aware about what's happening with Palantir? We have all these people talking about relationships and all this other stuff, honey. By the time they get through, ain't gonna be no relationship. Let's go.
I need the Black community to listen to me and listen to me well. I need you to share this information with everyone you know, and I need you to stay for this entire video. I have been trying to sound the alarm on something that is going on that I believe is going to affect us by this summer, and it is.
Y'all gonna have to turn y'all speakers up. She's talking real low.
I've already seen it happen in other countries, but I'm not getting the message to the target audience. So if you see this comment, say something, do anything, so we can protect our own. Now, I have made multiple videos about Indiana and how they have become the center for ICE, as well as the center for a lot of trials that they want to do globally. I have made it painfully aware of the different legislation that is being passed that can potentially harm the Black community, that is aimed directly at our community. And as someone who lives in a predominantly Black area, one of the only predominantly Black areas in Indiana, I want you to know Palantir billboards have been popping up. A few months ago, I warned you about how they are using Indiana as a center for ICE and that they are gearing up and planning something over the summer, and it has nothing to do with Hispanics. I also read to you the piece of legislation that was passed and how they have been strategically removing Black people from institutions in Indiana as well as other locations. But the over-policing of Black people in my community especially has reached an entirely new level, and we've already seen this happen, and Joe Rogan just brought it up on his podcast. 2 days ago, Palantir billboards popped up in my community, and Palantir billboards also popped up in 2 other predominantly Black areas across the country, and I'm going to prove it to you. And Palantir billboards popping up in this specific community in which I live that is majority Black doesn't make any sense because it's a very underdeveloped city. The city is damn near eroding. Now, these billboards displayed a Palantir, and they said America's future. These billboards were also implemented in 2 locations in Ohio as well as Pennsylvania. They were put in Cleveland, which is predominantly black, as well as Youngstown and Braddock and Wheeling, Pennsylvania and Ohio. All of these communities are at least 80% black and
Wheeling's in West Virginia,
developed or eroding. Right after the Palantir billboards popped up in my community, I kid you not, they have started implementing drones. These drones are used as surveillance, and they are going around surveillancing black neighborhoods with drones and also issuing tickets for any infraction on the road. Literally, it's getting creepy. I don't know if you just saw the Theo Von podcast with Joe Rogan talking about how Palantir was used in that one place to help facilitate the mass you-know-what aside, and how they used surveillance, and some of the fire was coming from down, not what we thought. Peter Thiel has talked about a surveillance state and how he's felt about the black community. But what I don't think people understand is what they're using and going to test on us. And it's getting closer and closer, and I see it in my own fucking community. For Palantir billboards to pop up, and then right after we have drones flying over our fucking city, issuing tickets. And we have the over-policing and gentrification of an area because police officers from every jurisdiction have only been in this area, in my neighborhood and community. Multiple jurisdictions and counties are patrolling this area to the point you can't turn a corner without someone being on the corner. Indiana has forced compliance with ICE. They are using Indiana as a training ground and have stated so for ICE agents. I know for a fact, black communities, the deployment of Palantir in them is not a fucking coincidence, and I am seeing it firsthand, and I need y'all to wake up. I know we're resting, but we can't be blind. While we're sitting on our asses, they're pulling shit right in front of us, and no one's listening. I can't say too much, but I have to take a break from distraction and get back to fucking reality. If there was ever a time to come together, I'm 100% certain just from looking out my window, it's fucking now.
Listen, guys, I'm not sure if you guys have heard that there's a manifesto that Palantir put out. She did that like about 3 days ago, and then suddenly there's a manifesto that comes out by Palantir. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know who Palantir is, but they are like the AI for war. So let's hear some of the other things people are saying about what Palantir is doing.
People will reflect back and say this is the first large-scale combat operation that was really driven, enhanced, made substantially more productive with technology, with AI.
Yeah. Palantir obviously sells a lot of its technology or is involved in contracts with the military, but it's also involved in really mundane things like delivering like frozen chicken supply chains for a very big chicken abattoir, basically, or chicken meat product supplier in the US. And the way that he talks there is really to just say, like, actually, those two processes are just exactly the same. Shipping frozen chicken nuggets out to where they're most needed, depending on people's movements and things in different parts of the country, is just the same as targeting people for death through the military. And the outcome that you want is like increased efficiencies in both. I find that like a deeply extraordinary and corrupt way of speaking about two vastly different kinds of activity. And it is what they produce: extraordinarily efficient mass murder.
So, but bottom line is Palantir is delivering chicken and delivering food, as well as I don't think I would want any company delivering the food that I eat to be also involved with war, you know? Because now, like, how do you blur the lines? At what point is Lockheed Martin is not delivering food? Okay. You know that Lockheed Martin is there to make weapons. Now, when Lockheed Martin is also in charge of like the drones that deliver our food, now I'm looking at it like, okay, what's really going on? And the whole thing is really about surveillance, guys. Government surveillance through AI. And as the lady said, she says, they're using drones, and they're using the drones to write tickets for people. So Palantir is now testing out their drones in small cities. Wheeling, West Virginia She said William, Pennsylvania, Wheeling, Pennsylvania. No, it's West Virginia. My family lives in Steubenville. Wheeling is like probably 30 minutes from Steubenville. Youngstown the other way, 30 minutes that way. So they're using like this small town Ohio thing to test out all their stuff, and it's very mountainous. So you have to imagine like they're doing stuff in a mountain area to make sure that their drones will be able to get around mountains, get around all this weird terrain, because like that Ohio Valley area is very mountainous, very hilly, all this stuff. I mean, you have hills that are like dang near like 45-degree or more angles. When I went to high school, I had to walk up a 45-degree angled hill just to get back home. So this is like actually testing out the drone's ability to be able to like traverse that type of like an environment. They're starting out there and then they'll go into other areas. But imagine like they're using this kind of like area, mountainous area, Wheeling, West Virginia, you know, Youngstown, Ohio. All these are in the mountains in Appalachia. And they're, you know, I would say working class, you know, kind of like, I wouldn't even say working class. I would say probably lower class, you know, like people that's probably, you know, struggling a little bit, live in those areas. It used to be a steel mill town. The steel mills are gone. People pretty much, you know, work at the supermarket. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so why would they need to be surveilled and like given tickets and stuff like that? She's talking about her town in Indiana. It's just interesting that this Palantir, they're using the small towns in because they probably don't think that anyone's going to like report what's going on. But you have that young lady that's talking about, okay, in these communities, these drones are giving out tickets and all type of different stuff, you know? So now you have them, they're probably even using the any kind of like surveillance cameras. This is turning into a movie. Remember, like on the movies, they'll have like that drone come down and be able to look at your face and then, you know, like, hey, go back home. You know, it'd be like the police, you know, but they're trying to make the movies reality, you know. So you would think they would always say it was some alien civilization that every movie, it'll be the alien civilization had these drones that would come and that was a part of them ruling. Every movie has this, but what if it wasn't a movie? What if it was really reality and it's not an alien civilization, but our own government that is teaming up with this company that is creating these drones? See, what they do is they put it in a movie so it looks like oh, this is fantasy, right? But no, they're literally creating drones, policing the people, you know, and then trying to say, oh, we're just delivering chicken and stuff like that, whatever. You know, you would think, oh, okay, it's a drone and it's a, you know, they're just trying to like, no, they're mapping out different neighborhoods. Every time they ride that drone, what is on the drone? A camera. So you think that you're just ordering some chicken from Walmart, but no, what you're doing is you're feeding this drone information in your neighborhood. They know what you eat. They know what you ain't gonna eat. Because they're dropping it off. Why are we giving AI so much power? And AI is not what's up. It is not even all the way situated yet.
If you live in the US, I hope you are familiar with Palantir, the company that builds AI-powered kill technology and mass surveillance tools, because they basically have a stronghold over the US government, and they're building a master database on every American citizen. And yesterday, they released a 22-point manifesto outlining everything they stand for. Here's everything you need to know in order from least to most concerning. First, Palantir believes AI-powered weapons will be built. It's a matter of who builds them first, and what they build them for, implying that it's critical that we don't hold back. Second, they believe that everyone should serve in the military, that it should be a requirement and not voluntary. Third, they allude to war being a positive thing, and they remind us that 3 generations of Americans have never seen war. Keep in mind, they literally profit off of war. That is the premise of their company. Fourth, here's where things somehow get a little more dark. They believe that all cultures should not be perceived as equal. Palantir claims some cultures produce wonders while others are regressive and harmful. This quietly implies that some cultures others are superior to others, which is a very dangerous worldview. And to tie it all together with their last point, we must resist the shallow temptation of a vacant and hollow pluralism. Essentially, they're saying that they do not believe in inclusivity and that the US should have a defined national culture. Now, these are only 5 of the points that I've pulled out from their manifesto and everything they stand for. There are 22. I highly suggest you give the full thing a read and share this with your fellow citizens. I'm the founder of Interval News. We're on a mission to highlight every story that is getting suppressed or outright censored. If you're interested in the mission, hop over to interval.news and I'll catch you in the next one.
Wow. So and you imagine, you're trying to find a job right now and they're asking you your race and your sex and what's your race, what's your this, what's your that. I'm like, okay, decline to identify. Don't do it. But now it looks like they're trying to listen, they're going to be able to know just by your name with Palantir in charge. Let's go.
People will reflect back and say, this is the first.
There is this new Palantir commercial ad that just came out that you guys need to check out. You guys do remember who Palantir is, right? The new data integration company that's helping the Department of Defense, the IRS, the DOD, DOGE, and all these, and ICE, the people's handling immigration. But check this thing out, y'all. This is crazy.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Oh, hell nah, I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected. Participants' access to financial services has been suspended. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
Fuck you! Take your surveillance policies and rot in hell!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct. This content exceeds your current social credit tier. May we suggest citizen responsibility? Sarah, open the door. You have been identified by the authorities. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that what they want? What? Like, I mean, now that is an old video. That commercial was from, like, I would say 6 months ago. Now that is frightening. welcome to our new reset. You know, that's something. That listen, guys, that's what they're planning. Like that is insane to me. If that's what they want, like that is like wow. I can't even describe how I feel about what I just saw. That seemed like something out of Black Mirror. Is that what they want our society to become? Like that, like restrictive and oh my god, let's go.
Silicon Valley is a major threat to our survival as a species. Palantir, the evil Western chauvinist surveillance company that every government in the world wants to partner with to make warmongering easier, they released this 22-point manifesto on techno-optimism and their view of the future. Obviously, there's a lot of fascist nonsense in here, but I want to focus on the combination of points 4 and 6. Point 4 is that the limits of soft power of soaring rhetoric alone have been exposed. The ability of free and democratic societies to prevail requires something more than moral appeal. It requires hard power, and hard power in this century will be built on software. And then point 6 says that national service should be a universal duty. We should, as a society, seriously consider moving away from an all-volunteer force and only fight the next war if everyone shares in the risk and the cost, that is, reinstating the draft. These Silicon Valley techno-optimists have never been incredibly quiet about the fact that the future they envision for our high-tech society is not one that is democratic and egalitarian. In fact, the vast majority of them despise democracy, particularly because they know that people will usually not freely choose to give up their own rights, which is what this future of theirs requires people to do. Point number 4 lays out clearly their sort of anti-democratic ethos, and yet it couches it in this idea that they're protecting all of us, right? When in reality, what they're saying is that they don't think they can convince you to simply give up democracy. So they're going to force that upon you. And we can see it in the methods that they choose for their everyday action on the political landscape anyway. Brute forcing the entire political system to bend to their will and shoving AI and associated other useless garbage down our throats, because even if we don't want it, they believe that it's what's necessary, so they'll do it anyway. Just like they believe that an autocracy is necessary, so they'll put that in place. And they'll do it with hard power. Ideally, it seems they want everyone conscripted into military service, not to fight some threat out there, but to fight the threat against their hegemony right here at home. They want you trained and obedient so you don't even make a fuss or think twice when they tell you to put your rights in the bag, and barring the efficacy of that, they want a standing occupational army at the ready so that if anyone gets a little bit uppity about their democratic protections being stripped away instantaneously in favor of these Silicon Valley fucking assholes, then they can just beat them up. These ideas are a threat to civilization as we know it, and we need to see more people treating this Palantir manifesto as exactly what it is, a declaration of class warfare.
Listen, this is what people will say, this is what they voted for, this is what they wanted. I don't understand why anybody would want this. And here's the thing. Everybody wants to talk about Democrat versus Republican. Everybody wants to talk about like the this side against that side, but there's a whole nother side that is pushing something that is going to surpass any political system in place. Like this whole left versus right, that is not even the real battle here. It's humans versus technology. When technology will be able to dictate how much your credit score is, to make it so that you can't even operate your car once they are able to make everything ran by AI, what is going to happen? Welcome to the stage, Man in High Castle.
Welcome.
All right. So did you want to make a statement on this, or are you just joining? Did you see anything I played so far?
No, I haven't. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have a clue of what you played. But go ahead. Let's continue.
All right. So let's go into the next aspect of discussing the manifesto of Palantir. What's happening right now? Let's go.
As part of this mission, we are asking American taxpayers to fund the world's greatest military. We're asking mothers and fathers across America to trust us with their most precious resource, their sons and daughters. And we will honor their trust and their sacrifice.
Well, child, good grief. We were just talking about Palantir. I've talked about it several times. The Antichrist, Peter Thiel, their focus is like a religion around the Antichrist now with Silicon Valley, the technocrats. I would even say some in our military. It's a lot going on. But look at what just came out. Palantir backs return of U.S. military draft, slams regressive cultures, and 22-point manifesto. Guys, I'm going to read that to you. We're going to go over the details because it's pretty wild. But remember, last year I brought up that a draft was going to come, and I believed it was going to be for World War III. I didn't know at the time we would be in this war, or sorry, conflict with Iran right now, and many other countries now are involved. And there is no end in sight. There is no ceasefire. They're talking about, I mean, it's just craziness.
And also, in the meantime, the government shutdown is still going on. I don't think they haven't revved. No one is talking about the government shutdown. Everybody's just forgetting that there's a whole government shutdown while all this is happening. So all the military, are they even getting paid for their time in this war? So they're having a war right now. The government is shut down. Are the troops getting paid time for their in the war?
Every time they say it's a ceasefire, guys, it's just made up for market manipulation. That's all it is. Like, if you follow it, you can see it. It's obvious stock market manipulation. People are making billions of dollars off of this manipulation. And it's a pattern that is being called out over and over. But let me show you what initially prompted me to even investigate into the draft last December. And it was what Pete Hegseth said in this speech. Now, this was December 6th, right? And that's when I did my video last December, I think December 11th, about the draft. I started digging into the details and all this, the selective service and what was going to happen and what's come out. And everything hasn't been revealed yet. There's a lot more in that video that I disclose. There's people who do amazing organizations that do research on this stuff. And it was pretty wild. But take a listen.
Focus. As a result, the War Department will not be distracted by democracy building, interventionism, undefined wars, regime change, climate change, woke moralizing, and feckless nation building. We will instead put our nation's practical, concrete interests first. We will deter war. We will advance our interests. We will defend our people. Peace is our goal. And in service of that objective, we will always be ready to fight and win decisively if called upon. As part of this mission, we are asking American taxpayers to fund the world's greatest military. We're asking All
right, so YLD Millennial said they're not even eating like that over there. So he didn't send the military over to Iran. They're not even eating and getting what they need as a military because the government shut down, right? So that means the money that would go to a military force going to war is now they're not even getting what they would normally get, rations, whatever it is that they would normally get. And now he's asking for the people to invest their money to the military. Now, this was in December 2025, right? It just passed. So they shut down the government. They engaged in a war in Iran. They shut down the government prior to, but then they want to blame the Democrats. All right, because of ICE. Why would you jump into a war when the government is shut down? How can you fund a military without the government? Don't you need the government? So you want the American people to put their money into this war with Iran. So we need to donate our money, but we barely are getting any jobs or anything like this because of the economy. By the way, I did see a thing talking about like that Trump is finally realizing that there's like a crash in the economy. But let's go.
Mothers and fathers across America to trust us with their most precious resource, their sons and daughters. And we will honor their trust and their sacrifice. The historic recruiting and retention numbers of President Trump's first year show who the American people trust. This means we will not send America's best to advance foolhardy or reckless adventures halfway around the world. It also means not asking them to pick up the tab for allies who should fund their own defense. Instead, and above all, it means that we only ask our warriors to fight for things that make America and Americans safe, free, and prosperous. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Nothing more and nothing less. Again, this is common sense. And that's what President Trump's War Department is all about.
Doesn't that seem like a lifetime ago? It just seems like when was this? Every day it's like it's a new thing. It's a new thing. And it just December. It just you could not have told me that right now this is where we would be in 2026. But they laid it all out. They said there will be war. I showed you the Economist magazine. Everything he said there, the opposite has been done. But the main thing that you need to pay attention to is asking the American taxpayers to trust your most precious resource, I believe the word was, of your sons and daughters with the military. While everything is going on now with this war, how do those words sit with you now? What with them changing the laws as far as the draft and what's going to what they're coming out with, where does that sit with you? Then on top of that, remember they raised the age to join the military to 42, and now they're waiving, marijuana conviction because a lot of people are saying they're going to smoke weed or get a conviction so that they are ineligible. But are you seeing how, remember I told you have to look at everything, just stacking one thing on the other and the other and the other. And a lot of things won't be revealed at the time. A lot of people are like, there's not going to be a war. There's not going to be a draft. Melanie, what are you talking about? But you stack that, and then you stack on top of it the war that's going on now. Now what Palantir is saying, it is impossible to ignore unless you just want to bury your head in the sand and just say, everything's going to work out fine. No, we are in the last days. They talk about Armageddon. This is a known thing. This is not going away. This war is not going away. It's going to continue to escalate. But that's always been the plan. How do you get New World Order? How does the beast system rise unless all of this takes place? So this.
Speaking of the beast system, I'm not sure. I think that she's about to go into the manifesto and everything like this. But I want to play this video again now that more people are asking questions. Yes, I have seen videos saying that the forces over there they're struggling over there. They're not being fed as good as they normally would, all this stuff. Like I have seen videos like that. But I wanted to play this again for those in the back that didn't see it the first time. This is a Palantir video that came out. This is a video that came out like months ago, what Palantir was planning on doing. Watch this.
Silicon Valley is a major threat to our survival as a species.
I need the Black community.
If you live in the US, I hope you are.
People will reflect back.
There is this new Palantir commercial ad that just came out that you guys need to check out. You guys do remember who Palantir is, right? The new data integration company that's helping the Department of Defense, the IRS, the DOD, DOGE, and all these, and ICE, the people's handling immigration. But check this thing out, y'all. This is crazy.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today. today with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Oh, hell nah, I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected. Participants' access to financial services has been suspended. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
Fuck you! Take your surveillance policies and rot in hell!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct. This content exceeds your current social credit tier. May we suggest citizen responsibility? Sarah, open the door. You have been identified by the authorities. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist.
What the hell? I mean, that is a Palantir commercial. I don't know if that is a real Palantir commercial, but even if that is not, it's crazy, you know? So what is this picture of in High Castle? Drawing pictures.
Just doodling.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to what we were talking about. So now there's a manifesto that Palantir has put out. And let's see if what they're saying, I mean, that's what they're saying, that this could be the future, whether or not it's by Palantir or not. But let's go.
This is the 22-point manifesto. They're saying coming from Alex Karp, okay, who is the CEO. Yes, Peter Thiel is the founder, but Alex Karp, who is pretty crazy, pretty wild, has said some outrageous things. They said he's the CEO, so this is what he put out. So this is what everyone is talking about. There's a lot in here to unpack that is wild, but this is what grabs the most attention, right? National service should be a universal duty. We should, as a society, seriously consider moving away from an all-volunteer force and only fight the next war if everyone shares in the risk and the cost. Everyone. Does that mean, of a certain age, just men, boys? No, guys, I believe this is where it's headed, because why would they need this many people in the military unless they are planning for World War III? Which they've told us this. We're seeing it play out. I think Russia's already saying we're already in World War III. Just because nukes haven't dropped and we're not feeling it a lot here doesn't mean it's not going on. But I want you to think about that with all of the changes that are happening with the draft. And you got to put 2 and 2 together. Guys, it's not going away. It's not going to just disappear. It keeps ratcheting up, and way faster than even I thought would. All right, so take a look at this to give you an idea, a little bit more of what's going on with this whole draft thing. And this is outside of Palantir, who they are basically Skynet. They are the ones that are going to put us in a digital prison. They are running, for all the wars, not just our government, other governments. They are the all-seeing eye. They want it to be like Minority Report. They want to get into pre-crime. The list goes on. And at the same time, all of this is being developed for Armageddon. They have said this. Peter Thiel said this. And again, so for the Antichrist. It is, they think.
And what in the, so are these people religious? Like, I would think that a person that's in the tech wouldn't be so religious. Like, why are they using words like Antichrist and what? let's go in. Let's watch because I'm like, are they really using words like Antichrist? Let's check this out. Let's go.
As Skynet from the Terminator series. Their laundry list of crimes is endless. There's a lot of evidence to support the idea that they were helping with the genocide in Gaza. They're involved with AI weapons. They're involved with mass surveillance and illegal spying, literally creating a blackmail file on the American people. We covered the story of one of the founders who basically said, like, we created Palantir to kill leftists. I'm not even kidding. You know, we covered that when that dropped. I forget the guy's name who said it, but one of the other co-founders of Palantir. And of course, you know, Peter Thiel, this is his baby. Peter Thiel is a very...
Can I just say something about this left versus right stuff? You guys, this is imaginary. Left versus right is an imaginary thing that they're putting in your face. It's a lie.
Would I be able to speak?
It's made up to create like a boogeyman. Oh, the Democrats, right? They're pointing their finger at the Democrats. Meanwhile, like, I don't think that Palantir is a company. It's not Democratic or Republican. These people that own these corporations are not Democrats or Republicans. They are corporations. So they want to point at a certain group of people and say, no, it's them. Go ahead, speak.
Thank you, DJ Genesis, for tonight's program. Everybody, see the notification bell, click it, hit the like button, share, and subscribe.
Made to cause division. Thank you, Millennial.
This is the man in the high castle. Rise and shine, proud Americans. What have we here? What have we here? More fear-mongering. To understand Palantir, you should understand warfare. You're not going to find Palantir on the shelf. You're not going to find it in your Google Play Store. It is made for warfare. Lo and behold,
why are they delivering chickens?
Lo and behold, you have some Democrats who are fear-mongering, and they understand that this is the only way they eat right now during this cycle of war. They're not going to do anything but bellyache. They caused the government-sponsored shutdown by Democrats, as the men in High Castle has said this time and time again. So here we are now. Buckle up. Quit being underprepared. Get your stuff ready.
Honey, this is not going to be something that just happens for like 6 months. It's going to be a rollout that happens. It's going to be just something that just the people are just going to have to like, it's going to be a new way of life. It's not going to be a thing that you can prepare unless you can go out into the woods and like and pitch a tent. And even then they have drones. And
anyways,
a thing
yeah,
where they're like going into those areas that have those woody areas. So
proud Americans, be ready, not underprepared. The man in the high castle has been saying this for months now. It's never too late to be fully adequate.
So you're saying it's about Democrat and Republican, but I'm saying is that people want to point the finger at Democrat, but no one is talking about the autocrat. What about the people that want an autocracy? So everybody's pointing at Democrat. Meanwhile, they are ignoring this whole autocracy where you have a government that's ran by technology automatically, and Democrat and Republican won't even fucking matter at some point. What do you think about that?
That's neither here nor there. Technology has always been here. No. Yeah, okay. Technology has always been here. There's always been scary technology. One of the most scariest technologies that people underestimate is Fair Isaac Corporation. Fair Isaac Corporation is FICO. that AI is ahead of its time. And people need to understand what real AI is really about.
Yeah, you didn't answer my question.
I just did.
How did you answer my question?
The price of life today is less than technology.
So what I said is that when everybody's pointing, Democrats pointing at Republicans, Republicans pointing at
The
Democrats,
Democrats are at fault.
no one is pointing at the autocracy.
The Democrats are at fault.
So the Democrats were at fault for Palantir.
Where are your Democrat leaders now?
Are the Democrats responsible for Palantir? Yes or no?
Palantir is not an issue.
Child.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Palantir.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm anti-Palantir, but I'm saying is that autocracy is going to be the new. It's going to replace all this human Democrat Republican.
Explain what autocracy is, because it sounds like you're saying Autobot.
When you have AI, the government, that's the government. When the machines run everything.
We went through this we went through this during COVID-19. Who do you think was running the crops? Who do you think was dispensing the paychecks? Come on now. There's systems in place.
Listen, millennial, great thing. If you are still a Democrat and Republican, you are left behind. You need to remove any connection to any political party. You need to remove your connection. Do not ever take a census saying that you are a Democrat or Republican. That will be the biggest mistake of your life.
Proud Americans, they will tell you next to not believe in God.
So you're saying that political parties are closer to God? Like, what are you saying? Anyways,
Proud Americans, they will tell you next to not believe in God.
Let me just
and you know us proud Americans who love Jesus Christ. We're not trying to hear this stuff.
I'm gonna say this is that listen, Palantir is not gonna be only in America. So he's talking about proud Americans, honey. This is gonna be across the whole globe. This is not a globe, this is a global
Palantir
thing.
is not even
just a United States
thing. Not even the boogeyman.
Okay. All right.
Very disturbing guy. Literally, fundamentally anti-human. That's his ideology. That's his mindset. That's his philosophy. It's an anti-human perspective that says we basically need to be replaced by AI, by machines. That that humans are just too flawed and we shouldn't continue as we are. I mean, he was asked directly, like, should the human species continue? And he basically shit the bed and stuttered and was like, I don't know. I guess. It was very, very disturbing. Everybody saw that interview with Ross Douthat, and it did not go well for Peter Thiel. Well, there's this guy named Alex Karp who helps run Palantir. He's that guy that's got the goofy ass crazy hair and he never sits still. And it looks like he does a ridiculous amount of cocaine. And then when he was called out on clearly doing cocaine, he does this whole like, oh, no, I'm just like autistic or something. Like he tries to, mask it behind this idea of like, I'm just an eccentric. No.
He's popping a bunch of Adderall. He's like popping Adderall like left and right.
Just humiliating. Well, anyway, that guy is incredibly disturbing. And like I said, seems to be a rampant drug addict. Well, guess what? He basically took some time to write a fucking manifesto, a screed that he thought the world should see. Okay, we're going to go through it here, and all I'm going to say is prepare yourselves. Because here you have a genuinely evil, disturbing company that should not exist. That's all about fucking AI weaponry and spying on innocent people and murder. It's like Murder Incorporated. No disrespect to Ja Rule, all right? But you get the point. Well, listen to what he says here. This is crazy. Because we get asked a lot, the Technological Republic, in brief. Number one, Silicon Valley owes a moral debt to the country that made its rise possible. The engineering elite of Silicon Valley has an affirmative obligation to participate in the defense of the nation. So that's them trying to justify doing AI weapons. They're trying to say, oh, it's like the moral thing to do to create these machines of death. Okay, they continue. Number two, we must rebel against the tyranny of the apps. What? Is the iPhone our greatest creative, if not crowning achievement as a civilization? The object has changed our lives, but it may also now be limiting and constraining our sense of the possible. Hey, bitch, you're also a tech company. What the fuck are you talking about? All right, they continue. Free email is not enough. The decadence of a culture or civilization, and indeed its ruling class, will be forgiven only if that culture is capable of delivering economic growth and security for the public. By the way, you can tell that the person who wrote this, it's cocaine thinking. It's like grandiose cocaine thinking. You're on cocaine, you think you have the most...
Oh, no, it's his AI thinking. He's using an AI to even write this whole manifesto. He didn't write this. You think he really got time to sit there and type this out? He used AI to do this. And his AI is a part of like his mindset. And so therefore it's kicking out things that like go along with his mind. And here's another thing. Elon Musk said there was going to be a day when you open up your phone, you have a phone, and there is no social media. It's just you and AI. And you type in, AI shoots it back, whether it's real or not. Now, could you imagine how flawed AI is to have a whole device relying on AI to give you anything that's true? AI is not even telling the truth if you go onto it and answer the question. So let alone having a whole device of iPhone or anything that is 100% ran on AI. No social media, no connectivity of human beings, just 100%. You type it in, it comes back to you what you're asking for, and that's it. Movies, everything. That's what they're trying to do. They want input in. They don't want any input from us. They just want us to be drones of whatever. So yeah, of course they're against social media. Let's go.
Brilliant idea ever. And then you come back to it, the next morning when you're not high anymore and you go, what the fuck is this fucking babble? Number 4, the limits of soft power, of soaring rhetoric alone, have been exposed. The ability of free and democratic societies to prevail requires something more than moral appeals. It requires hard power, and hard power in this century will be built on software. Now we're getting demonic, right? Soft power isn't enough. We need hard power. We need war. We need death. That's what we need. What they're saying is we build the weapons of death. We build the AI weapons of death. So you kind of need us. All right, they continue. The question is not whether AI weapons will be built. It is who will build them and for what purpose. Our adversaries will not pause to indulge in theatrical debates about the merits of developing technologies with critical military and national security applications. They will proceed. In other words, hey, China's going to do it anyway. There's others that are going to do these incredibly immoral, unethical, disturbing things. So we need to do it too. That's literally what they're saying here. All right, number 6. National service should be a universal duty. What? We should, as a society, consider moving away from an all-volunteer force and only fight the next war if everyone shares in the risk and the cost. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Modern-day Skynet, the AI machine of death creators, the universal fucking blackmail surveillance network, they're now coming out saying, everybody should be forced to go fight and die for Israel. Yes, that's what needs to happen. Yes. Are you fucking kidding me? A fucking draft? Do you have any idea how quickly I would be out this bitch if there was a draft? Do you have any idea how quickly, like, probably millions of Americans would be out this bitch if there was a draft?
Knew if they got to.
As that famous tweet goes, I would rather serve crack than serve this country. Are you kidding me? We waged an illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us. They were no threat to us whatsoever. They had agreed to our strictest requirements on their enriched uranium just a couple hours before we attacked them. Okay? We triple tapped a girls' school. We bombed schools. We bombed hospitals. We bombed bridges. We bombed power plants. We bombed a pharmaceutical company. We bombed steel plants. Trump's threatening to have, quote, a whole civilization die. And I'm so, we're the good guys? Why? How? How the fuck are we the good guys? You need to, I know your actions matter. And you want to force innocent men to be, presumably men. I don't know if they also want women to go, but like you want innocent people to be sent there to fucking die. For what? For what? For your fucking profits? For Palantir's profits? Go fuck yourself. By the way, the nerve. Why the fuck should I care about your thoughts on a draft? Like any more than I would care about fucking Burger King's thoughts on a draft, right? Like CVS is opposed to a draft. Like, why the fuck would I care? You're a soulless corporation that profits off of misery and death and violations of privacy. Why should I?
Listen, that's almost like Lockheed Martin putting out a damn manifesto.
Like, Proud Americans, do you hear any of this stuff? Do you hear this loud and clear? They don't care about us at all. And when I say they don't care about us, I mean the far left radicals who are talking nutty. Lo and behold, Proud Americans, within the next 4-5 months, before end of the year, by end of the year, you're gonna hear these left-wing radicals right here start saying how Vladimir Putin is a hero. It's this is so predictable.
Okay, so I guess he's talking to the Proud Americans that agree with him. But I listen. That's okay. Hey, he's like the opposing opinion of what's really happening, and maybe when his son is available, he'll have him join the draft. But okay, let's go.
Hey, better than
a single solitary shit. What the fuck you think about anything? Right? Nobody elected.
So you rather him go to the military than go to college?
Hell yeah! At this point.
Wow, let's go.
Did you? Nobody supports you. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with these people? Oh my God, bro. I'm sorry. We need to get to the point where if a company is viewed as against the actual national interest, you should be able to dissolve that bitch, right? Palantir should be fucking dissolved. That's what should happen. All right, we're not done yet, though. They say, number 7, if a U.S. Marine asks for a better rifle, we should build it. And the same goes for software. We should, as a country, be capable of continuing a debate about the appropriateness of military action abroad while remaining unflinching in our commitment to those we have asked to step into harm's way. I don't know what this means, other than, hey, you really probably shouldn't debate this. You should shut the fuck up and fall in line, is the subtext of that, I believe. Number 8. Public servants need not be our priests. Any business that compensated its employees in the way that the federal government compensated public servants would struggle to survive. Number 9, we should show far more grace towards those who have subjected themselves to public life. The eradication of any space for forgiveness, a jettisoning of any tolerance for complexities and contradictions of the human psyche, may leave us with a cast of characters as at the helm we will grow to regret. Is he just saying, like, stop criticizing politicians? Because that's kind of what I'm getting out of this. And is it...
Here's the thing. Knowing that this is an AI, I know this is not him writing this. This is 100% AI. All he did was program it to make the manifesto. Because that's how lazy people are nowadays. They say, listen, I want to make a 22-point manifesto about whatever. And then AI spits it out. He's using the Palantir AI based on the company to make a manifesto based on the company's mission statement to write this manifesto. This is not him writing anything. Okay? 100%.
Okay, so they're definitely saying that he is incapable to brainstorm this type of manifesto himself because AI is superior.
What I'm saying is that nowadays, he's not writing a 22-page a 22.
Have you ever heard him speak?
I've heard him speak, but like I said, he is everything he's doing is based on the AI. So all
this is speculation.
I'm trying to tell you, yes, 100%. I would say that I would guarantee if they did a thing and said, "Listen, is this AI?" It would probably be like, "Yeah." If you took a copy of this and put it into a thing and said, "Is this AI?" I can guarantee you 9 out of 10, it's going to be like, I would say maybe 85% AI. 75, I'll give it. You know what I'm saying? But this is AI. Period.
I doubt that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I gotta find the thing, but I believe that this is AI.
By extension, shut the fuck up, stop criticizing Trump, stop criticizing Netanyahu. Is that what this is? We should show far more grace to those who have subjected themselves to public life. How about they should show far more grace to the American people who are getting perpetually and routinely fucked with a spiky metal bat by them? How about that? How about they should actually represent us and give us universal health care and free college and a living wage, and they should end the wars, and they should do a Green New Deal, and they should do universal daycare, and they should tax the rich? How about that? Why do we have to show them grace when they're fucking everything up, but they don't have to show us grace
far left
and actually
radicals
do
are
their
sick.
jobs and represent us? Number 10, the psychologicalization of modern politics is leading us astray. Again, you could tell this guy's high on cocaine. This is navel-gazing bullshit. Those who look to the political arena to nourish their soul and sense of self, who rely too heavily on their internal life, finding expression in people they may never meet, will be left disappointed. Number 11, our society has grown too eager to hasten and is often gleeful at the demise of its enemies. What? The vanquishing of an opponent is a moment to pause, not rejoice. Number 12, the atomic age is ending. One age of deterrence, the atomic age, is ending, and a new era of deterrence built on AI is set to begin. Number 13, no other country in the history of the world has advanced progressive values more than this one, says the mass surveillance network that builds AI machines of death. The United States is far from perfect, but it is easy to forget how much more opportunity exists in this country for those who are not hereditary elites than in any other nation on the planet. This is just total bullshit. We do not have free healthcare in this country. We do not have free college in this country. We rank very low, actually, when it comes to developed countries on, climbing the economic ladder on this notion that we typically would call the American dream. We actually rank very low on that in developed countries. This is just total horseshit. In many ways, there's much less opportunity that exists here. I mean, the fact that you have to pay health insurance companies as just a parasite middleman who fucking deny your claims anyway. I mean, it's literally like a scam. The insurance industry is like a scam in this country. Like half the country can't afford a $500 emergency. How the fuck can you say that, this country is packed with opportunity? Like, bitch, those days have long passed us by. We are declining as a civilization rapidly. And you're just pretending like that's not the case. It's humiliating. All right, we're almost done. Number 14, American power has made possible an extraordinarily long peace. Too many have forgotten or perhaps taken for granted that nearly a century of some version of peace has prevailed in the world without a great power military conflict. At least 3 generations, billions of people and their children and now grandchildren have never known a world war. So they're saying, America, it's because of America, a strong America, that we have peace. Yeah, say that to the people in all of the countries that we fucking bombed and attacked and did regime change in. No, that's not true. In the imperial core, that's relatively true. But outside of the imperial core, that is not at all true. Okay, go talk to the people of Iraq. Go talk to the people of Libya. Go talk to the people of Somalia. Go talk to the people of Yemen. Go talk to people in South America who we routinely fucked over in the Cold War. Like, this is just
they
fucking
love
total
America so
navel-gazing
much.
horseshit. Number 15, the post-war neutering of Germany and Japan must be undone. The defanging of Germany was an overcorrection for which Europe is now paying a heavy price. Wow. It's kind of hard to read this as anything other than the modern-day Nazi perspective, right? It's kind of hard to read this as anything other than that.
We
should have
again.
never taken the arms away from Germany and Japan. Well, they were the fascist countries that were against us in World War II. All right, number 16. We should applaud those who attempt to build where the market has failed. The culture almost snickers at Musk's interest in grand narrative. Oh my God, they're sucking off Elon Musk as if billionaires ought to simply stay in their lane of enriching themselves. That's what he's doing. Any curiosity or genuine interest in the value of what has created is essentially dismissed or perhaps lurks from beneath a thinly veiled scorn. No, the reason why people hate Elon Musk is because he illegally cut pediatric cancer research and Meals on Wheels. And he destroyed everything good about our government, like the CFPB, as he was walking around goose-stepping and zig-heiling, and he's retweeting Nazis on a fucking daily basis, and he's taking $38 billion in U.S. tax money for like 13 rockets that instantly explode when they get up in space. The reason we hate him is because he's a fraud, he's a con man, he's a liar, he does vaporware like nobody's business. But this guy also, Alex Karp, is also a fucking liar and a con man. So of course he would defend his fellow liar and con man, fucking Elon Musk. Jesus Christ. All right, let me speed this bitch up. I'm so sick of this guy. Number 17, Silicon Valley must play a role in addressing violent crime. What the fuck are you talking? Oh, so now we're doing violent crime.
How much is this guy going to keep swearing and swearing?
The ruthless exposure of the private lives of public figures drives far too much talent away from government service. Motherfucker, you people are keeping a blackmail data file on everybody. And you're talking about how the ruthless exposure of private lives of public figures is bad? Like, that's your whole business model. Number 19, the caution in public life that we unwittingly encourage is corrosive. Those who say nothing wrong often say nothing much at all. Just cocaine babbling here. Number 20, the pervasive intolerance of religious belief in certain circles must be resisted. The elite's intolerance of religious beliefs, what are you talking about? It's perhaps one of the most telling signs that his political project constitutes a less open intellectual movement than many within it would claim. Palantir is saying that there's elite intolerance of religious beliefs. Are you kidding me? There's an over-religiosity amongst elites. Trump is reading fucking Bible verses from the White House. What are you talking about? He's got like Paula White probably on her knees in the White House and her hand on him, fucking praying for him with all the other Franklin Graham and all the other psychopaths. What are you talking about? Mike Huckabee is the ambassador to Israel, and he's saying that, in the Bible, Israel could have all the Middle East, so they should have all the Middle East. How are you saying that, we're not religious enough? We're like atheist fundamentalists. What the fuck is wrong with you? What world are you living in? Number 21, some cultures have profound vital advances. Others remain dysfunctional and regressive. All cultures are now equal. Criticism and value judgments are forbidden. Yet this new dogma glosses over the fact that certain cultures, and indeed subcultures, have produced wonders. Others have proven middling and worse, regressive and harmful. So now comes the Zig Highland and the goose stepping in your own respect. Literally doing the we're not actually equal as people. Don't be ridiculous. No, some people are better than other people. Like us, the AI machine of death creating blackmail data network. We're special. We're special. America's special. Israel's special. When we genocide you, it's because we're the good guys and you're the bad guys, and your culture is inferior. That's what they're getting at here. That's exactly what this is. Number 22, we must resist the shallow temptation of a vacant and hollow pluralism. We in America, and more broadly the West, have for the past half century resisted defining national cultures in the name of inclusivity. But inclusion into what? So they say we must resist the shallow temptation of a vacant and hollow pluralism. In other words, pluralism is bad. Multiculturalism is bad. They want to be homogenous is what that means. They want to be maybe one religion, one ethnicity in the country. Here you have nominally a fucking tech company that's literally out there going, we're not all equal. Some people are better than other people. And fuck multiculturalism, fuck pluralism, fuck equality. Yes, us, the country that makes the machines of death and creates blackmail data files on everybody and is trying to infiltrate you in every element of your life. Yes, us, modern day Skynet. Deep down, we like Adolf Hitler, and we're Nazis, and we're fascists. That's what this is. That's what this is. I've never seen something more telling than this.
Pause.
And by the way, the asshole Alex Karp, who did too much cocaine, is giving away the game here.
I'm watching this from another angle, and there's only two people in one of the rooms and one watching in the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how true that is. However, things can be deceptive. To get to the point of where this needs to go, this guy is not the way to go. All he's been doing, I've counted 40 cuss words. This is wild. I mean, where is the news? Where is the news? I put something in the back where you can hear Alex Karp explain his position from just a year ago. What he's going to end up doing, why Europe is the way it is right now, essentially. If you look at Europe, if you look at their prime minister, Keir Starmer, how they're acting just like the people who are leftists right here in the United States, whether it's Brandon Johnson, Mayor Brandon Johnson, Mayor Karen Bass out there in LA, and all the other ones that wear those glasses. This is exactly why Europe is the way it is. And this is why they're going to starve their people out there in Europe in 2026. Because they have adopted this socialist, Marxist, weird stuff. They don't care about their citizens. Just like the Democratic Party here does not care about Americans first.
So you
they
think
don't.
that you think that the Republicans care about Americans first with this current situation what's going on right now?
Hell yeah. At this time, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. No one is voting Democrat. No one young.
Okay.
If you live in the US, I hope you are familiar with Palantir, the company that builds AI-powered kill technology and mass surveillance tools, because they basically have a stronghold over the US government, and they're building a master database on every American citizen. And yesterday, they released a 22-point manifesto outlining everything they stand for. Here's everything you need to know in order from least to most concerning. First, Palantir believes AI-powered weapons will be built. It's a matter of who builds them first and what they build them for, implying that it's critical that we don't hold back. Second, they believe that everyone should serve in the military, that it should be a requirement and not voluntary. Third, they allude to war being a positive thing, and they remind us that 3 generations of Americans have never seen war. Keep in mind, they literally profit off of war. That is the premise of their company. Fourth, here's where things somehow get a little more dark. They believe that all cultures should not be perceived as equal. Palantir claims some cultures produce wonders while others are regressive and harmful. This quietly implies that some cultures are superior to others, which is a very dangerous worldview. And to tie it all together with their last point, we must resist the shallow temptation of a vacant and hollow pluralism. Essentially, they're saying that they do not believe in inclusivity and that the US should have a defined national culture. Now, these are only 5 of the points that I've pulled out from their manifesto and everything they stand for. There are 22. I highly suggest you give the full thing a read and share this with your fellow citizens. I'm the founder of Interval News. We're on a mission to highlight every story that is getting suppressed or outright censored. If you're interested in the mission, hop over to interval.news and I'll catch you in the next one.
All right, so this is the video that you sent me. I'm not sure if I can play it all the way through. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I don't want to get like flagged. All right, so
36-minute area.
Let's hit the main points. Let's go.
Not as a substitute for or an isolation from GAAP measures. Additional
I
information
would just
about
put it
these
at the
non-GAAP
36-minute
measures,
area.
including reconciliation of non-GAAP to comparable GAAP measures, is included in our press release and investor presentation provided today. Our press release, investor presentation,
and the government really helps us. We've never done shelfware. We don't do shelfware. We don't think our personality can afford shelfware.
Thank you, Alex. Our next question is from Mariana with Bank of America. Mariana, please turn on your camera and then you'll receive a prompt to unmute your line.
Afternoon, everyone. So I have 2 questions. First one is on the European defense buildup. You mentioned warp speed and how that has been successful here. Like, are you interested in applying that as these European countries build up their own defenses and catch up on industrial capabilities that have been underinvested for like many, many years? And the second one is, I think investors are pretty familiar with this like software versus services type of like Palantir approach, because you have been like actually leaders on that trend. But Titan is a great example how on how like software actually played a role that was more intuitively hardware. Where else you actually have opportunities for software to add value there? Like, is it Golden Dome? Is space communications? Like, have you think about that?
Yeah, on the first one, Alex may have more to say as well, but we would love to help Europe on the manufacturing challenges around rearmament, and I think there are a lot of them to do. The precondition for warp speed is understanding that the existing manufacturing stack is broken. And so you could say, why did America get there first? Because you have all these people who are essentially the progeny of Elon, who have learned and understood how to actually make things, the sort of brains that go from the Raptor 1 to the Raptor 3 engine. And that's proliferated around the community that's in El Segundo and even beyond. That's like the basis of reindustrialization in America. And so it's when we work with the new defense champions, new industrial champions, like it's a very short sales cycle, because they recognize like that what we're doing with warp speed is exactly what they need in order to do it. When you work with some of the older manufacturing customers, even in the US, it's heterogeneous. Some of them are already there, they get it, they realize it. Some of them are going to be there because it's just a reality. In Europe, there are some green shoots, like some very well-known manufacturing companies have kind of said like, oh, I now understand that my ERP thing doesn't work and warp speed, maybe we should get warp speed. So I just don't want to commit too much. I think a lot of it is where's the customer's head at, but we could obviously do a lot to help you.
But Europe doesn't get AI yet. At
Silicon
some point in the
Valley is
future
a
it will.
major
And then,
threat
as you
to
know,
our
Europe is not
survival
Europe.
as a
You have Eastern
species.
Europe, you have Germany,
Wow.
France, you have they're very different Europes. Europe that is scared understands that you're going to have to do software, hardware, hybrid systems, and our products are very, very well known and differentiated. It could take a couple years for Europe to understand that you just can't spend money. You're going to have to spend it on things that actually work, and work means spending it on people that have actually done this on the battlefield. I would say our plan is to continue to be roughly in the zone where 90% of our business is growing like it is now at 49% with this rule of 83, and somewhere in that range we guided to rule of 80. And that's going to be primarily driven by the US. I would say as a unknown variable, we're seeing very significant demand for our software, our government software around the world outside of Europe.
Right. So basically what he's saying is that the whole Palantir thing is a global solution, not just a United States-based solution. And that what they're planning on doing, I guess the United States might be the testing ground for this whole solution. And then moving into Europe and other countries. So they're trying to contract their software out to other countries, equivalent to how they're going to be doing in the United States. What are you hearing?
Europe is so far behind in the next year because this was from a year ago. They're going to be begging for something like Palantir to have been adopted because they're going to be taken over by the invaders. They have already been taken over.
By which invaders?
Sharia law.
So you're saying that Europe is of a threat to be taken over by the Islamic State?
Yeah. I mean, it's already there.
Okay. So, but that does not really address what's happening with this manifesto. The manifesto that was put out like, I think yesterday.
Yeah.
But what does that have to do with what they're talking about doing in America right now?
Operation Warp Speed from a year ago to where we are today. This is from a year ago. This is now we're talking about the manifestation, your manifesto today. You have no idea what's about to happen by September.
Okay, what do ICE, the U.S. military, and FBI all have in common? They're all increasingly relying on the same AI company, Palantir. Palantir builds software that helps government agencies make sense of huge amounts of data on the battlefield and at home, from helping locate bombing targets to powering mass surveillance used to track down undocumented immigrants. The company was founded after 9/11 with the goal of helping the U.S. track and prevent terrorism. Since then, it has grown into a major federal contractor, securing billions of dollars in government funding since Trump returned to office. And it's all run by this guy, Palantir's co-founder and CEO, Alex Karp, who happened to go to the same high school as me in Philly.
Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
So what does Palantir's technology actually do? At its core, the software pulls together huge amounts of data from government databases, financial records, travel history, and social media, and turns it into a tracking system, monitoring people's activities, networks, and behaviors. It's used in the military. For example, the Pentagon is using Palantir's AI system to analyze battlefield data and flag potential targets, essentially helping to decide what or who gets bombed. And it's used in law enforcement here in the U.S. Reporting from Wire found that ICE is using Palantir to automatically summarize tips from the public to speed up deportations. ICE even gave Palantir $30 million to build a system called Immigration OS to streamline deportation of immigrants through self-deportation. That system became operational in 2025. Since Trump took office, that company has scored a $1 billion purchasing agreement with DHS and a $10 billion contract with the U.S. Army over the next decade. But here's the bigger picture. It's not just the same company being used across government agencies. It's the same underlying system. Different missions, similar logic. Collect as much data as possible, connect it faster, act on it sooner. Palantir says, we just build the tools, not the rules. But when software determines what data gets connected, what gets flagged, and who gets prioritized, it's doing more than just analyzing information. It's shaping real-world outcomes. And when those outcomes can include both air attacks abroad and immigration enforcement at home, it raises deeper questions. How much power should these systems have? And who gets to decide how they're used? This guy? Okay, what do ICE...
Why should one company have that much power and control, especially when their interests don't only lie in the United States, when they're becoming a global force?
Their interest is the United States.
Is
I
it?
mean, yeah, this is an American company. You've heard it time and time again from Alex Karp's mouth. All this boogeyman stuff. Listen, he have said it time and time again. This is for the American interest. I'm not hearing nothing else that people are saying. I study these things enough. People who really trade and invest, they really know, and people who don't are just going to be making up stuff.
Okay, well.
Have y'all seen this freaking list of demands that Palantir put out yesterday, April 19th? I got this. This is a breakdown. Behind me, there's a breakdown of what some people are calling a list of demands that Palantir, if you don't know who Palantir, I don't want to put too much of the logo up, but because I don't want this video to get flagged. But they put out a list of demands to corporations and other entities like that, and it's a little troubling. And I got this from Silicon Valley Fodder over on X. And I'm not going to read all of these, but I'll get my head out of the way. You got to check this out. I really just, there's only a few I really want to talk about. Okay, so you can pause it at any point. Okay, this one is a little concerning. This, number 5, the question is not whether AI weapons will be built. And then you can read the rest of this. Palantir holds military contracts with the U.S. government, and this is the AI that's going to be running. Just let's keep going. Here's some more. I'm not going to read all of them, but here, I'm going to get my head out of the way. You can pause it. Look at this. Again, I got this from Silicon Valley Fodder over on X. It's like a breakdown of it. But there really was a list of demands. You look it up. You search it up. The Palantir list of demands that was put out on April 19th. Okay? So on this particular page, there's one thing that really concerns me. It said 17, it said Silicon Valley must play a role in addressing violent crime. That's concerning. Like, we're talking like Minority Report stuff here. This is crazy. And this is the final page. I'm moving my head out of the way. You can pause it, screenshot it, whatever. Okay, again, this was written by, this is a breakdown of this from Silicon Valley Fodder over on X. But I wanted to bring anyone attention who knows who Palantir is. And again, something also incredible happened. Donald Trump was the first sitting president to ever mention a stock ticker on a public announcement. And guess who it was? It was Palantir. He's the first president to ever mention a stock. And then, of course, after he mentioned them, their stocks shot up. I don't know enough about stocks. I'm just a guy in a hat on TikTok.
Egghead on TikTok, another one. Yeah, and he's not alone. Whew. These people.
Hey, well, if you didn't know about it, now you know about it. You might not agree with it. You might not agree with the rhetoric behind it, but if you didn't know, now you know. One last video I'm gonna play. Let's hear.
In case you missed it, I just want to make sure you are aware of what's up with Palantir Technologies. You know, Palantir, that's powering surveillance and military operations. Well, this past weekend, they dropped quietly a 22-point manifesto. And it's not subtle. This isn't some abstract tech vision. This is ideology out loud. Okay, this is a company led by Alex Karp, and they are openly calling for bringing back the military draft. But I just want to remind you, it's not going to be their kids that are going to be drafted and filling out the military. It'll be our kids. And they're also calling to rearm Japan and Germany, and pushing religion back into public life and dismissing pluralism as hollow. Marinate on that for a second. They're also drawing lines between good and bad cultures, and they're saying that the future of power global power is software, their software. Then they have the gall to take a swipe at holding powerful people accountable, basically saying, stop exposing the private lives of public figures, which is just another way of saying, don't look too closely at us. Critics are calling this techno-fascism, and honestly, it isn't hard to see why, because this isn't just a think piece. This is a roadmap from a company that already contracts with the Pentagon, law enforcement, and governments all around the world. Their business depends on the kind of world they're describing, so when they say this out loud, it's not theory, it's intent. And I think the most important and good thing for us is they're not hiding anymore. The quiet part is it's not quiet. So folks, follow the money. Know who's running in your area and who's supporting them. I will not vote for anybody who takes money from these billionaires or PACs, and I hope you won't either.
Democratic stuff. Evil Democrats.
Yeah.
You suck. Okay.
That's how I see it. That's how a lot of Americans who have common sense see it. Also, as well, if people who are on the fence, like of a fence, not on the fence, who want to know a little bit more about Palantir, The Lord of the Rings. This is where the name derives from the company. Derives its name from The Lord of the Rings, books written by J.R. Tolkien. And essentially, J.R. Tolkien was writing these books at the time of World War I, when the Europeans were fighting one another. If people can see any type of parallels, well, this is 2026. And so when they're using terms like at scale essentially means when tools are applied and measured into task. Also, there are many, many companies who are just not AI. Palantir is one of them who are truly AI capable. But there are companies out there that if they ever collaborated on some AI stuff, like legitimate AI companies that are
like
around.
Lockheed Martin? Like Lockheed Martin?
I'm not even, no. Lockheed Martin, they do contracts with Palantir. A lot of companies do contracts with Palantir. There are other companies. I could name a couple. If they just collaborated, you would have full planetary scale Minority Report. Absolutely. And that would be Sentinel-1, and that would be Satellogic. As Satellogic and Sentinel-1 ever collaborated together?
So are you saying they would never collaborate though? Like,
never. I said if they ever. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just saying, like, there's some real companies out here that people just don't understand, and people are just babbling about, oh, this. I'm trying to calm people down. Even like when I just mentioned FICO, that's a real AI company. Their AI analytics have more day-to-day direction on you, more influence on you than anything Palantir does. Your credit score, man. I want people to really start using common sense in America. We have college kids going to college, protesting. All the college costs so much money, and all they're doing is protesting with these green-haired freaks. They're not learning. And when they do get some internship or land a career, all they're doing is spinning in these chairs, catching cheese doodles in their mouths, saying, pull my finger, I just made a stinky, with earbuds in their ear. That's all they're doing.
So you don't see anything wrong with what they're actually proposing? Nothing.
It was written. No.
All right. Well, for those that actually care about what they're talking about,
I
let's
need the
go.
Black community to listen to me and listen to me well. I need you to share this.
What's the scary part that you just to highlight the scary part, if you can?
Silicon Valley is a major threat to our survival as a species. Palantir, the evil Western chauvinist surveillance company that every government in the world wants to partner with to make warmongering easier, they released this 22-point manifesto on techno-optimism and their view of the future. Obviously, there's a lot of fascist nonsense in here, but I want to focus on the combination of points 4 and 6. Point 4 is that the limits of soft power of soaring rhetoric alone have been exposed. The ability of free and democratic societies to prevail requires something more than moral appeal. It requires hard power, and hard power in this century will be built on software. And then point 6 says that national service should be a universal duty. We should, as a society, seriously consider moving away from an all-volunteer force and only fight the next war if everyone shares in the risk and the cost, that is, reinstating the draft. These Silicon Valley techno-optimists have never been incredibly quiet about the fact that the future they envision for our high-tech society is not one that is democratic and egalitarian. In fact, the vast majority of them despise democracy, particularly because they know that people will usually not freely choose to give up their own rights, which is what this future of theirs requires people to do. Point number 4 lays out clearly their sort of anti-democratic ethos, and yet it couches it in this idea that they're protecting all of us, right? When in reality, what they're saying is that they don't think they can convince you to simply give up democracy. So they're going to force that upon you. And we can see it in the methods that they choose for their everyday action on the political landscape anyway. Brute forcing the entire political system to bend to their will and shoving AI and associated other useless garbage down our throats, because even if we don't want it, they believe that it's what's necessary, so they'll do it anyway. Just like they believe that an autocracy is necessary, so they'll put that in place. And they'll do it with hard power. Ideally, it seems they want everyone conscripted into military service, not to fight some threat out there, but to fight the threat against their hegemony right here at home. They want you trained and obedient so you don't even make a fuss or think twice when they tell you to put your rights in the bag, and barring the efficacy of that, they want a standing occupational army at the ready so that if anyone gets a little bit uppity about their democratic protections being stripped away instantaneously in favor of these Silicon Valley fucking assholes, then they can just beat them up. These ideas are a threat to civilization as we know it, and we need to see more people treating this Palantir manifesto as exactly what it is, a declaration of class warfare.
Thoughts?
She was a bit more coherent than all the rest. I think I saw her earlier on the show.
I don't know if
but
you saw that when you came in, because I think that it is class warfare, because their kids are not going to be in the military, but they're asking for us to let our kids be. Go ahead.
She's a bit more coherent speaking. Clearly, she has a great delivery. These other people, man, they are so thirsty and desperate. However, she just had a level of grace when she was speaking, like, okay, she's still learning something. But these other people, they were just talking this brainwash nonsense. It was just nutty. All she can say is what she is fearful of. And she mentioned the one part is that the Democrats, I mean, Anyone
she
who's
didn't
trying
say
to
the Democrats. She didn't
anyone
say
who's trying to
Democrats.
say
She said
anyone who is
democracy.
trying to say that this is
She
not
didn't
about
say the
left
Democrats.
and
She said
she just
democracy.
did speak about Democrats.
She said democracy. She said
She
that it
used
is going.
Democrats. Sis, if you go back,
She said democracy.
she
She did not
said
say the Democrats.
Democrats. She said Democrats.
See,
This
that's
is
the thing, is that you
so
want to make
when you rewind it and you hear Democrats, let's just
Silicon Valley is a major threat to our survival as a species. Palantir, the evil Western chauvinist surveillance company that every government in the world wants to partner with to make warmongering easier, they released this 22-point manifesto on techno-optimism and their view of the future. Obviously, there's a lot of fascist nonsense in here, but I want to focus on the combination of points 4 and 6. Point 4 is that the limits of soft power, of soaring rhetoric alone, have been exposed. The ability of free and democratic societies to prevail requires something more than moral appeal. It requires hard power, and hard power in this century will be built on software. And then point 6 says that national service should be a universal duty. We should, as a society, seriously consider moving away from an all-volunteer force and only fight the next war if everyone shares in the risk and the cost, that is, reinstating the draft. These Silicon Valley techno-optimists have never been incredibly quiet about the fact that the future they envision for our high-tech society is not one that is democratic and egalitarian. In fact, the vast majority of them despise democracy, particularly because they know that people will usually not freely choose to give up their own rights, which is what this future of theirs requires people to do. Point number 4 lays out clearly their sort of anti-democratic ethos, and yet it couches it in this idea that they're protecting all of us, right? When in reality, what they're saying is that they don't think they can convince you to simply give up democracy. So they're going to force that upon you. And we can see it in the methods that they choose for their everyday action on the political landscape anyway. Brute forcing the entire political system to bend to their will and shoving AI and associated other useless garbage down our throats, because even if we don't want it, they believe that it's what's necessary, so they'll do it anyway. Just like they believe that an autocracy is necessary, so they'll put that in place. And they'll do it with hard power. Ideally, it seems they want everyone conscripted into military service, not to fight some threat out there, but to fight the threat against their hegemony right here at home. They want you trained and obedient so you don't even make a fuss or think twice when they tell you to put your rights in the bag, and barring the efficacy of that, they want a standing occupational army at the ready so that if anyone gets a little bit uppity about their democratic protections being stripped away instantaneously in favor of these Silicon Valley fucking assholes, then they can just beat them up. These ideas are a threat to civilization as we know it, and we need to see more people treating this Palantir manifesto as exactly what it is, a declaration of class warfare.
how many times did she use the word democratic, which is the root word is Democrat? So let's just stop it.
Democracy, sir.
She used the word Democrat multiple times. She's talking about Democrats.
Are we
Hey,
living in a
okay, we're gonna stop saying that she didn't say anything about Democrats.
No, she did not say for the demo. She said we are in a democratic democracy. We're in a democracy. We live in a democracy. Yes or no? Do we not live in a democracy? She was not talking about the Democrats as a political stand. She's talking about the actual political system of a democracy that America is. Not
this is about left and right, good and evil at this point.
Do we live in a republic or a democracy?
Yes, we do.
Which one?
We live in a republic.
So we live in the United Republic of America?
We live in the United States of America. To the republic for which it stands. To the republic at which it stands, one nation, under God, to the republic. I just said it is. To the republic to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quit fucking playing. Proud Americans, these leftist lunatics will keep on saying up is really down. and down is
So
really up.
are you saying that democracy, democratic features, the system is democratic because leaders are chosen by citizens through popular vote, making a representative democracy or democratic republic? So it says democratic. The system is.
Where are you reading from? Where are you reading from?
I'm looking at AI right now. Like
Okay. Oh, you're using AI. You trust it.
No,
it's not so bad after
Google.
all.
You know, Google has AI.
Right.
I looked it up.
The real Skynet.
So you're saying that America is so the she just because she said
I'm saying I love America. That's
so
what
is
I love.
America a democracy only or a republic only?
You just asked me multiple questions and I answered it the first time.
It's not. The system is
You
democratic.
can get upset.
Because leaders are
The
chosen
system could
by
be democratic, but it's a republic. To the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. It's not to the democracy, man. It's to the republic. Let's stop this.
It says the U.S. is a representative democracy established within a constitutional republic framework.
I'm not concerned what AI is saying. We know what we know how the founding is. To the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Man,
the U.S. is both republic and a liberal democracy. That's
sure.
why you have a choice of
You
voting
can get upset.
Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, you can get upset. Proud Americans, hit the like button, share,
That's
subscribe.
the reason why you have a choice of voting either or. Otherwise, it would be no political party. It would be just republic.
Not everyone not everyone at one point had all that luxury. This is founded as a republic. Let's stop it.
So why do we have democracy then?
You ask AI. I'm not second guessing what I've said. There's no second guessing what I've said.
I'm on the We the Veterans U.S. America.
You could ask AI all you want.
So no, I'm not asking you. I'm like looking on the websites, like the actual different.
Go to your liberal pages.
It's not like a liberal page, okay? Hold on.
Say, for instance, YouTube
Okay, so
is
this
Google.
is USCIS.gov. This is a government website. Okay, here we go.
Doesn't mean it's not left wing or liberal.
Why would the U.S. government be a liberal website? Like this is
because it has a gov.
No. Okay, this is the United States USCIS website. Okay, the United States is a representative democracy. This means that our government is elected by citizens. Here, citizens vote for their government officials. These officials represent the citizens' ideas, concerns in the government. Voting is a one-way part of our democracy. So when she's talking about democracy and democratic, this, that, the other, she's not talking about the Democratic Party. She is talking about how we vote for stuff and how the government is ran. Not that it's Democrats versus the Republicans.
Well, this is what it is right now here in this country.
But that's the thing is that you want to make.
I voted for this.
Okay, you voted for what?
I voted for Trump 2028, 2020, and 2020 and 2032.
That's not what she. But it doesn't matter whether you voted for Trump. Bottom line is, you try to say that she said that it was Democrats, and she said a democracy, meaning that we can actually vote. And
she used the word democratic, democracy.
Well, that's what that is. When democratic process.
Root word is Democrats.
Okay, no, root word is democratic. That means that you can vote.
Root word is Democrats.
You just want to fucking say some shit. Just
it's the root word to the for the.
This is bad. Palantir stock is dumping down almost 7% after we got some not so favorable news from the Army regarding Palantir, their product Let's talk about this. So this is pretty nuts, guys. A U.S. Army memo raised concerns about serious
Look at his eyes. He
security
look
flaws
evil.
in a battlefield communication system co-developed by Palantir and defense startup Endural Industries. And the system, known as NGC-2, is designed to connect soldiers, sensors, vehicles, and commanders in real time. But according to the memo, the prototype suffers from fundamental security issues and should be classified as very high risk. And this struck me as odd here, guys. Look at this. Any authorized user can actually access all applications and data regardless of their security clearance level or operational necessity. How the heck is that even possible, right? And this raises the risk of sensitive information being misused. Also, the system currently has no logging feature to track user actions. Like, what is this real? Like, how, right? And this makes it impossible to audit who accessed sensitive data or what.
Child. Anyway. Everybody just trauma dumping. Everybody just.
She is one of the biggest grifters right here, Melanie King.
All right. Well, okay. So what? She's at least talking about the subject with Palantir. Let's go.
That they are building an infrastructure to protect against the Antichrist. It's very complicated, but it's bizarre. And like I said, they are I reported to you about the meetings that they're having, the doing this lecture series out in Silicon Valley and other places. Was at the Vatican a couple of weeks ago over there with high level technocrats, politicians, and people listening to Peter Thiel in a multi-part series talk about not just the Antichrist, but Antichrist in AI. They have said that they believe that AI is an actual demon. Like they're summoning the demons. They believe it is an actual ancient Sumatrian demon. I kid you not, they have told us this, that they're summoning. And I think in that manifesto, they even said they want AI should be running the world. AI should be running the governments. This is where it's all heading, and they have set it on the 2030 agenda, all the pieces that they need on the board in order to enslave us, to put us under the beast system, the literal beast system, that by 2028, you can't function without a digital ID. Is digital ID the mark of the beast? No. But I told you, I believe it's this patch that Bill Gates has developed. I think Neuralink is not the mark of the beast, but it is a control mechanism because they want collective consciousness. That's what they want. They want collective consciousness so that everyone thinks the same. There is no, and really it's to control us. It's when they say think the same, just like with universal high income work will be optional. They just want everyone to be happy. All these billions, they just want all of us to be happy. They want all of us to be taken care of with universal high income. They want to fund our life, even though we don't work. The AI is going to take all our jobs. They said they just want to make sure that we are fed and happy and we're living in
human batteries. That's all I think they think that we are. Human batteries that they can feed this energy off of. And I'm gonna just tell you this, all right? Because he just said that that these Democrats are trying to make you non-Christian. Now you have a Christian person sitting up here talking about how this stuff is the mark of the beast, how people went over to the Vatican. How they went over to the Vatican.
I know people personally who know her. She's no Christian.
So
what she did to her husband, her ex-husband, hell no. She don't take care of her kids. None of that. This is a grifter.
Why that has nothing to do with her personal life and what she's talking about from a Christian standpoint, though.
She wasn't talking like this 2 years ago.
This utopia. Since when? That makes absolutely no sense. No, they need us for this. They need us to be their cattle. But that's always been the plan. Even the Bible itself talks about this.
American men will soon be automatically signed up for the military draft. Here's what to know about the new process in 60 seconds. American men are, for the first time, set to be automatically registered for the military draft. Congress approved the change in the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, signed into law by President Donald Trump. Supporters of the plan say that shifts responsibility from individuals to the government and would reduce administrative costs. But critics are worried that the use of men's federal data is a violation of privacy and signals a shift towards more military conflicts. The US has not had a draft since 1973 during the Vietnam War, and any future draft would require approval from Congress and the president. If a draft were authorized, a random lottery would be held to decide the order in which people are called to serve. Women are not required to register, though they can voluntarily serve in the military. Some men would still be able to seek exemptions by filing as a conscientious objector if he has religious or moral objections. However, the agency in charge has warned that political objections cannot be used as a reason not to serve.
And it's not just, Palantir. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. These billionaires are building themselves these safe bunkers and these safe spaces, not because they think there'll be nuclear fallout. I believe nuclear bombs is a psyop. I'm still working on putting out a video, but this has been thoroughly talked about research. A lot of people do not believe it because they use it as a threat. Anything they continue to use as a threat, the government and the world, just to keep us under control, guys.
Let me just tell y'all now, they don't even have, like, nuclear bombs are just a thing of the past. It's called a neutron bomb. The neutron bomb gets rid of the people and keeps the actual land. You know what I'm saying? So it won't mess up the structures and the buildings, but it'll just kill the people. So they didn't advance past nuclear. Now it's neutron. You know what I'm saying? So anyone talk about nuclear, honey, you're in the 70s. Now it's neutron. It'll just put everybody else's ash, and everything will still stand, and the buildings will still be there, and you can just come in and occupy the building. Let's go.
It automatic something to me said, and I know they've lied about our whole history. Everything has been a lie. Why wouldn't that be a lie? And then once I show you guys some of the details, it's going to blow your mind. But keep in mind, we've gone to war over the threat of nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs. Millions of lives have been lost with these wars, with the threat of nuclear bombs. Like, it's just, when you look at it, and even now the war we're in is because of nuclear threat, a nuclear bomb, it just feels like propaganda and as an excuse in order to go to war. I can't prove it definitively. I'm telling you what's been in my spirit and what I know the Bible says. And that even gets into the book of Enoch. God is not going to allow man to destroy this world, right? So the Bible is clear about that. And that's why I don't think they have those capabilities at all.
Listen, before they allow us to do that, honey, either something's going to happen, somebody going to come, whatever's going to happen, whatever, like alien, whatever is going to happen. They're going to come about the ocean. Because that's where I think all the aliens is, in the ocean. They're going to come about
Proud
the
Americans, there's a lot of safe places still in the United States and throughout the world. There are a lot of safe places still here in the United States. There's a television series called Paradise by Hulu, which I believe is owned by Disney, but they're on their second season. And it explains about the DUMBs, which are the deep underground military bases. Proud Americans, there are still safe places.
Like,
if there was an evacuation emergency announcement, Proud Americans, it's just about getting there. Can you get there?
Who chooses to go into, if there is a fallout, who's going to go into a underground tomb? That's what's going to happen. You're going to be underground and be in a tomb.
If you say so. Proud Americans, there are still safe places. In case of evacuation,
people of the globe. Listen, this is not the first time the world, the globe, the earth has faced nuclear fallout. I think that was happening.
We're not even there yet. I don't even think.
No. I mean, if you do some research, you will find out that we have had power and built up to this thing. This is not the first time. It won't be the last time. And those civilizations have come and gone. And then a new civilization arises, and they build it up to a certain point, and then they get, you know what I'm saying? And going into down underneath the ground, they probably lived for a certain amount of time. Eventually they died off, and then some new people came to the top and whatever. But as far as us like thinking that we really going like
Proud Americans, this is just about getting there. So Proud Americans, if there was ever an announcement for evacuation threat, it's about getting there. Not everybody's going to get there.
If you would have to get there, they would tell us where it was at to begin with. How you going to get there if you don't even know where it is?
Proud Americans, there's still a lot of safe spaces.
It's a bunch of bullshit what he's saying, because if there were safe spaces, you'd know where it was.
There are still lots of safe spaces, proud
Is there a
Americans.
brochure?
Be optimistic
Is
here.
there a brochure where the safe
I'm not
space
going to
is?
spit pessimism.
I know one thing is that if it's a tornado, I know where to go to like a tornado
Okay.
fallout shelter. I know
Anyways.
to like go into my bathroom at least and hope that shit. But where is the safe space for if there's nuclear fallout? And there's nobody telling you this.
If you believe there isn't, then there isn't. Then
Okay,
that's what
well,
you're trying to say.
so I'm saying is that where is the brochure that everybody, all the proud Americans get?
There doesn't need to be brochures.
No.
There are safe spaces in this
No.
country.
In every situation, hurricane, earthquake, whatever, if you have it in your area, you know what to do when something happens.
We'll all know when
called
we
an
get to know that.
evacuation-
You know, we'll all get to know.
Evacuation plan. Okay.
Be optimistic, proud Americans.
Yeah, be delusional and think that everything's gonna be okay. But he's saying at the same point, but also prepare. Be optimistic.
Do not be
for what?
underprepared.
Okay.
Do not be underprepared, proud Americans.
Okay, so
I've been saying this for months now.
Then where is this underground bunker we can go to in each city? Is there like a document we can get to where we go in each city where we can
I'm going to say this very clear, all right? And then you can definitely, you should kick the soccer ball as hard as you can or at my head, whatever you want to do. But all I need is 15 seconds. If there was ever an announcement for an evacuation, proud Americans, there are safe spaces still left. Also, it's about getting there. I'm not going to say I would be able to get there. You'd have to proud Americans, you would have to imagine the melee, the panic. Don't be underprepared, proud Americans.
Okay, so I want to say what I got to say. In every situation, whether it be a fire, earthquake, tornado, my kids are even taught if there's a tornado, what to do. I can bring my daughter in here and she'll tell you what the plan is. If there was really a plan that included people like us, we would know it. No one has given us any plan of evacuation in case of any situation that has to do with what people are talking about when it comes to war. Now, there will be a loud siren that blares, but what do you do? Okay, how long do you have before you get to a place under the ground? And where is this underground place at? I mean, here's the thing: is that
there are many
only privileged
safe
people,
spaces.
Only privileged enough people know where the safe spaces are. He talking about there's many safe spaces. He probably knows
exactly.
Where they are, but unless
it's about getting there, proud Americans. It's about getting there.
Getting somewhere that nobody knows where it's at. He's saying
it's about getting there, proud Americans. Even the man in the high castle, man in the high castle who's speaking coherently. I'm not gonna even guarantee that I could get there. Safety.
Where is there? You sound like
proud Americans. This is not a conspiracy theory of mine.
Where is there?
But like I had said many times,
I know
if I don't make it throughout the journey, this will just let you know I was just an ordinary person of human status.
There's a place called There that you got to get there.
You know,
there is.
So there are many safe spaces here in the United States. There are many safe spaces here in the United States, everybody.
Well, is there a website we can go to find a safe space? Is there a document where we can go online and download where the safe space in our area is? Other than that, you just rambling.
So are you in doubt that there's not safe spaces here in the United States?
I'm not in doubt, but I think that
then what are you doing then?
Right. So what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
What I'm doing is trying to let you
know.
You're
putting doubt into people.
Okay, I'm not putting doubt into people. I'm saying
there's safe spaces still left in this country.
You're repeating yourself.
Yes, there are.
Okay, so where are they?
Proud Americans, when we get that announcement, if we ever do.
Honey, by that time it's too late.
If we ever do, it's about getting there. Wherever that be.
Listen, I'm about to end this stream. Thank you for coming here. I'm about to end. Thank you for being up here.
Yeah, because you gotten frustrated.
All right, no, I haven't gotten frustrated. Listen, I don't like to like be on some bullshit and keep repeating bullshit over and over again. You're saying there's a safe space, but where is it? I know where the safe space is if there's a tornado. I know where to go if there's a any other cataclysm. I know where to go. You know, if it's a tornado, the school is a fallout shelter. Same thing with nuclear. The school fallout shelter, right? But you're saying that there's a safe space underneath the ground that you can go if it happens closer. What I'm trying to tell you is that everybody don't know where those places are. So where can we go to find them? And you just keep repeating yourself. Well, there's safe spaces to go. Okay, where? How do we find out where the safe space is? Repeating that there's a safe space is not giving the information of where the safe space is. You're just repeating yourself and not even giving context to what you're saying. And so you're wasting my time and everybody else's time here by saying that.
You're trying to say there are not any safe spaces. There are plenty.
I'm not saying that there's not. What I'm saying is that if there are, where is the information? Because my kids are taught from a very young age how to find a tornado shelter living in Texas because tornadoes are very prevalent here.
The deep underground military bases, the DUMBs.
Okay, so who knows where that's at?
We'll find out when we get that announcement. If we do,
listen. Do you know how ridiculous that what you're saying is?
It's not far fetched at all. It's
It
just
is.
that you want to say that there isn't any
I'm not saying
safe
that there
spaces.
isn't. No, that's
Then
not
what's
what
your
I'm saying.
issue?
Okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth and yell back and forth. What I'm saying is not that there isn't. What I'm saying is that if it was meant for everybody, every normal American to know where those safe spaces were, they would know where they are. Only certain people know where they are, and those people already know where it's at, and everybody else is up for grabs. Everybody knows where to go during a tornado. Everybody knows where to go during an earthquake in California. No one knows where to go. There's a fallout shelter about a nuclear situation. But when you actually are talking about like underground bunkers and this, that, the other, nobody knows where those are. So you're trying to say that there's safe spaces underneath the ground. If there's like a whole cataclysm that happens, that we're gonna find out when electricity probably goes out, cell phones are down. How will you get the information on where to go? That's bullshit. I don't know. You're trying to say that I'm fear mongering. What I'm trying to tell you is that if anybody that's doing any military is going to knock out any kind of like communication first, and then they do the bombing. That's just common sense. Anyone that understands the art of war, you're not going to make it so that people can like communicate with each other. The first thing you do is knock out communications, then you bomb. So if communication is all knocked out and all you have is a siren that says that it's coming, how do you know where to go? And if they don't have any practice, because I'm gonna tell you what, my kids go through tornado practice in school. They go through all the different things in school. How do you know where to go? And who's gonna tell you where to go? So all these safe spaces mean nothing if you don't have any practice or any like practical knowledge of where they are. And how is someone going to alert you when all these things are like off grid, offline? So yeah, no, what you're saying, it might make sense to you. You might know where they are already. You might have did the research. Listen, guys, look up where there might be some underground bunkers. Or there might be a website somewhere. But he's not telling you where it is. He's just saying there's safe spaces. He's not saying where they are or where to find where they are. He's just saying there's safe spaces. That's just an empty word. That's an empty statement. And then he wants to talk in circles about their safe spaces, but like to say that without any context is a waste of my time and my audience's time. And I'm not going to continue to allow that to happen. Unless you could tell me a website to go to where these safe spaces are, you're wasting everybody's time here, sir. Period.
Again, as I get thrown in the backstage and censored on this channel many times, don't cry for me, Argentina. Do not cry for me, Argentina.
No one's crying for you.
Exactly. So as I wrap this up, because you said you're ready to wrap this up, I'm proud Americans who are irritated, what have you. This is the man in the high castle giving the man in the high castle's address. wherever you go, know for certain you have safe spaces here in this country. There are places that have underground tunnels. These aren't the deep underground military bases that I may be speaking of, the things that you see in television and films. But most major cities have a connection from the post office to the from the city hall to the police stations. This is exactly where they usually begin. However, in a case of emergency, like evacuations emergency, the man in the high castle says it's about reaching them. I, even myself, if there was in a case of evacuation, I don't know if I'd be able to guarantee that I can get there. You would have to imagine the panic. You know, at the end of the day, there are safety nets in place, guardrails in the United States. We have seen this during the pandemic. How do you think this country was running so successfully and operating? The abundance of food, how it was so readily available and pretty much affordable back then to where we are now. Do not be underprepared, proud Americans.
Hey, well, thank you for your time here. Peace out. And I just want to say my little last thing. Katrina was a very good example of a situation where when you talk about safe spaces, you know, when you talk about a catastrophe that people were not expecting, and the only safe space that they could do is find like a football field to put everybody in. People, lives were lost, children were lost, all type of different things were lost. So it's easy to say that there's safe spaces, but where was those safe spaces in place in times of like, you know, actual like weather level stuff, let alone someone actually doing some kind of a nuclear or any kind of bombing? I don't get it. If they could have had a safe space where people could have went underground and saved everybody, where was that place during those times in those situations?
Has anyone ever heard of Wicker Street?
I was not done talking. You said your thing. I'm about to end my show.
Has anyone ever heard of Lower
talking?
Lower Wicker Street?
You disrespect me. Like I said, if it was a situation where there's all these safe spaces to go during weather situations and all those different things, why aren't we going to those places when people are dying in hundreds of thousands and whatever amount of people? Tornadoes, all this stuff. Why don't we know those safe spaces? Why don't we already use them when there's fallout from weather and FEMA level stuff? Why is it that there could be a cataclysm that happens and it's just like, you know, hey, but no, there's safe spaces underground, but where are those places when there is a natural disaster? Why would they only be used if there was like a nuclear fallout? And why wouldn't those places be known to the people? Why? Because only certain people know to go to those places and know of them. And it's by design. Period. Now he wants to talk about Wicker Street. I'm gonna allow him to do this, but I'm just like saying because I'm trying to end the show, but he just want to say something else. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a debate, proud Americans. There are places, even in the United States, like I said, where there are subterranean areas. Say, for instance, Chicago. You have Wicker Street, then you have Lower Wicker Street, and then you have Lower Wicker Street. You can look this up right now on YouTube, and you'll be like, whoa, there are cities under cities. And when it comes down to deep underground military bases. I can't tell you where they're located. However, it's about, say for instance, if there was an evacuation, could I, the man in the high castle, get to these locations? I don't know. I can't guarantee that. But I know for certain DJ Genesis would not make it. I would want her to make it, but it's just she wouldn't be able to make it. It's about determination, drive, that American grit, God in your life. This is not an argument. This is probably the best part of this damn show right now. But throwing contributors into the back room? Haven't we learned from this yet? Let's get the elevation of the views up.
No. It's not about
No,
sir. The reason why I throw you in the back room is because you talk over me when I'm talking.
Because you're cowardly.
No. It's my show, and it was.
Throw me in the dungeon, then, damn it, like you do.
No, it's not about that.
You're just a leftist rat.
You're not respected.
This is Stalin.
You're not respecting.
Throw me in the back room, damn it. I love America.
Okay, bye. All right, guys. Thank you for your time here. I appreciate everything. This was a great show. You know, he tried to like throw a little curse on me if y'all ain't see that. Talking about I wouldn't make it and this, that, the other. You see how he threw that little curse? Return to sender, sir. Return to sender. Shouts out, guys. Thank you for your time.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah. See if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better day. Just know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. Only you can make the change. Shine your head at you. Shine so bright from darkness to light. Yeah, and you'll find your way.